All right, let's be real here. Did you tell yourself that this was the year you were finally going to start posting content, but now it's February and you still haven't? I feel that. So I had a New Year's resolution / not really resolution, just something I really wanted to do. And I wanted to start posting 2 to 3 videos a week starting January 1st. But guess when I actually posted my first video? It was like mid-January sometime. Because I just kept waiting for it to feel like the right moment, or for everything to feel perfect, for everything to like feel like it was like magically aligned. But that literally never happened. So I kept telling myself that I needed to fix my setup. I needed better lighting. I rearranged this room like so many times for no reason. I finally got it how I thought I wanted it. I shot some practice videos, you get the idea. And then I finally did actually sit down and film my first video like the end of the first week of January, or maybe the second week of January. But do you want to know what I did after that? Literally nothing. After I shot that video, I put my computer away and I was like, okay, I'm gonna edit this tomorrow. But I didn't. I put off editing it for so long. I was really intimidated by the whole process of editing because I'm not familiar with YouTube, or I wasn't familiar with YouTube, and I'm not familiar with editing long form videos. I'm familiar with like short form content and editing using CapCut for TikTok and Instagram, but I have never really done long form video before. I was convinced that editing software was too complicated for me to learn, and so I just didn't edit the video at all. On top of that, I really did not want to see myself on camera. It just felt cringy. I didn't want to see myself on the video that I shot. I didn't want to hear my voice. Up until the point that I started editing the video, I didn't actually have any idea what it looked or sounded like. But obviously, eventually I realized that if I kept waiting for what felt like the perfect moment, or what felt like me being ready to sit down and face the uncomfortableness of watching myself on camera or learning a new skill like editing, I was never actually going to post anything. And if I never ended up posting, I would be letting myself down by not following through on the one commitment I made to myself this year of growing a YouTube channel. And I'm going to be really honest with you. I have been trying to start and grow a YouTube channel since like 2017 or 2018. There's actually a random channel floating around out there on the internet somewhere of me back in 2017 or 2018, like filming some Canva tutorials. I literally posted and ghosted. There's one video on that channel and I never logged back into it again. YouTube is something I've always wanted to do, but it is also the one thing online that I've always felt the most resistance around. I'm extremely introverted, I have massive imposter syndrome, and I'm a perfectionist. So I started blogging back in 2017, and I learned the hard way that obsessing over every post and how my website looked wouldn't actually get me anywhere. It literally took 2 years for my first blog to make a penny from ads or anything, because I spent so much time obsessing over how to create the perfect blog post structure and obsessing over the aesthetics of my website instead of doing the one thing that actually mattered to growing and monetizing a blog, which was posting content. But literally, done is always better than perfect, because you can't improve on something that doesn't exist. You can't get better at doing something that you literally aren't doing. Another thing that I learned in all of this is that your first attempts might and probably will and very well may suck, because you can't get better at posting videos if you never post videos. You can't get better at editing if you never put the reps in. Like, you have to put the reps in order to get better. And that's something that just doesn't sit well with my soul, because I am the kind of person that, this sounds so bratty, I know, but if I try something and I'm not instantly good at it, I just get frustrated and I don't want to do it ever again. And I feel like when you're doing something like content creation and you're putting yourself out there, it's like being on stage. And so you're putting something out that you aren't comfortable with yourself, but you're putting it out for other people to consume. But the reality is that I'm never going to get better at this if I don't do it. You're never going to get better at it if you're just sitting here watching these videos over and over again instead of actually going out and making your own. You can't improve on something you've never done. Sucking is quite literally probably the most important part of the process. So if you're sitting there watching this and you still haven't started your content creation journey yet because you're afraid that your videos won't be good enough, you don't have an aesthetic enough background, you don't have a good enough camera — I'm literally filming this on my phone, by the way — you don't have whatever, you've got messy hair, I don't know what your excuses are, stop. Put that thing down, flip it, and reverse it, because your first videos are not going to be perfect. Your editing is not going to be perfect. Your setup isn't going to be perfect. Literally nobody cares about any of that. They're not looking at what kind of a background you have or what kind of lighting you have or what your hair looks like. They're looking for somebody that they can relate to, be entertained by, or learn something from. If you are one of the people who are stressing over aesthetics, like, it's so important to be relatable to people on the internet, because I think a lot of times what happens is we come on the internet and we consume all this content where everyone looks perfect, and they just look like they have like the most aesthetic house, perfect hairstyle, perfect skin, and it makes us feel inadequate because like I don't have perfect hair, or my house isn't aesthetic, or it's always messy, or I've got kids or pets running around in the background. Like when we come online and we consume content that looks so polished and so perfect all the time, it makes us feel inadequate, and it's literally not true. Like everyone's life is messy. And I don't know about you, but I relate more to someone online who shows up and posts videos when they literally just woke up or they're still in bed than I am to like the Instagram aesthetic influencer. Like I will never relate to those kind of videos because that's not what my life looks like. That's not what like anything I do looks like, and that's not what I want my life to look like. So forget about perfect aesthetics, forget about a perfect script, and forget about Mr. Beast worthy editing. Speaking from personal experience, you will get better at editing the more that you do it. In the beginning, just focus on the very basics like cutting out the silences and the bad takes. You'll learn to add more engaging elements like graphics and sound effects, all of that stuff as you go along. The most important thing to do is to just get the content posted. Another thing that's really important is to not set goals that are too big for you to actually accomplish, because you'll psych yourself out before you even actually get started or actually get into a rhythm and a routine. I started with 3 videos a week as my goal, and then I was like, maybe I'll do 2 a week. And now I'm literally down to 1 video a week as my goal because I realized just how much work it actually is. If you make your goals too big and then you don't hit them, you're gonna feel like you failed. And that feeling of failure is oftentimes enough to make you not want to do the thing at all. I think in the beginning, especially, it's super important to start with the lowest and the smallest goals possible and be super gentle with yourself if you don't hit them every time, because it's a learning process, especially if it's something you've never done before. Like, how can you know what you need your goals to be if you've literally never done the thing? My main point of this video is that if you needed a sign to start, this is it. Get started. It is the first weekend of February. We are still super early into the year. You still have so much time, but you need to do it messy. Post before you're ready. Start before it's perfect, because the only way to get better is to actually start. Now, go film something, even if it sucks. And if this video happened to be the one that gave you the push that you needed, leave a comment below. Let me know what you're posting, where you're posting it. I will go watch. Tag me in your videos. And if you like this content and you want to see more like this, feel free to hit subscribe. I will see you in the next one.